Good morning, students. In the previous tutorial, we discussed the meaning of measures of central tendency and we discussed the first mathematical average, arithmetic mean. In this tutorial, we will be talking about second mathematical average, geometric mean, and third mathematical average, harmonic mean. Also, we will be talking about positional measures, median and mode, and how to calculate them on Excel. So first of all, geometric mean, it is the nth root of the product of the numbers. So if in the data set there are three observations, 10, 20 and 30, right? So then when I multiply 10 into 20 into 30 and take the cube root, because there are three observations, so third root when I take after multiplication, the resultant value is called as geometric mean. Like arithmetic mean, geometric mean is also based upon all the observations. It is not affected by sampling fluctuations. It is capable of further algebraic treatment. It is rigidly defined. The only shortcoming is that people find it difficult to understand and it's little bit complex to calculate as well, because if there are 100 observations in that data, so you need to take the 100th root. So which becomes very challenging if done manually. Obviously with the help of software, it is a matter of just few seconds. So geometric mean nth root. So if there are 5 numbers, 5th root, but you need to multiply the numbers and then take the root. Now coming to the applications of geometric mean is widely used in the field of business and finance in case of calculating the return of a portfolio. Say for example, in the first year, a particular investor earned a return of over 20%. In the second year, the portfolio return was negative 10%, declined by 10%. In the third year, the portfolio return was 15%. In the fourth year, the portfolio return was 5%. Now, after 4 years, the investor wants to know the average rate of return. In that case, arithmetic mean is not the true mathematical average. In that case, we need to apply geometric mean. So we need to multiply all the 4 returns and we need to take the 4th root. So in case of calculating portfolio returns, if you notice, in case of a portfolio, the investor will have an initial amount. So in case whenever there is an initial observation and the researcher wants to notice the rate of change, increase or decrease in that particular observation, then geometric mean is the most appropriate mathematical average. Similarly, when the governments want to know the population growth or the rate of population growth, then also geometric mean is applied. Organizations apply geometric mean to calculate the rate of increase or decrease in profits or in sales. So whenever there is some initial observation and we want to observe the change in that observation after n number of years, then geometric mean is widely used. Also, it is used in the construction of index numbers. Next comes harmonic mean. Harmonic mean is the reciprocal of the arithmetic average of the reciprocal of the values of various items. Say for example, in your data set, you have 2 observations, 10 and 20. So first of all, we need to take the reciprocal of these 2 observations. So reciprocal of 10 will be 1 upon 10 and reciprocal of 20 will be 1 upon 20. Now when we take the arithmetic mean of these 2 reciprocal values, the resultant value we call it as harmonic mean. So harmonic mean will be 1 upon 10 plus 1 upon 20 divided by 2, because there are 2 observations in the data set. Now this again, like arithmetic mean, it is based upon all the observations. It is rigidly defined. It is not affected by sampling fluctuations, and it's a good measure of central tendency. Now the application of this harmonic mean is in those cases when we want to calculate average rates or we want to take the average of ratios. and it is specifically applied in those situations wherein the measuring units can be expressed reciprocally. For example, distance and time. Now say for example, there is a vehicle which covers a distance of 100 kilometers in 4 hours, right? And again, it covers the distance of 100 kilometer in 6 hours. So in this case, you can apply harmonic mean to calculate the average of speed. So the first 100 kilometer could be at the speed of 60 kilometer per hour, and the next 100 kilometer could be at the speed of 40 kilometer per hour. So herein the mean would be harmonic mean. Similarly, say for example, there is a typing test and a typist type 400 words in 50 minutes. Then again the test is taken and the typist types 400 words in 40 minutes, and again the test is taken and the typist type 400 words in 30 minutes. So again here the application will be of harmonic mean to calculate the average speed of the typist. Herein, because the relation could be expressed reciprocally, so in those situations harmonic mean is applicable. Next comes positional measures of central tendency. Number one is mode. Mode is the value which occurs frequently is the data. The most popular value in your data series. That is called as mode. And mode could be located by mere observation. So if you look at the data and any number or any observation which occurs maximum times, that you call as the mode. Right? So merits of mode. It's easy to calculate, it's representative, it is not affected by extreme values because it considers only the most popular values in the data. It can be calculated in case of open and class intervals also. You need not to know all the values to calculate mode. It can be calculated by just looking at the data. It's not rigidly defined. It is not based on all the observations. It may differ from sampling fluctuations. It cannot be further treated, and it has a limited scope. Mode is very rarely used in advanced researches, and mode could be also applied on nominal data also. Say for example, if you notice the color of clothes and you have 10 clothes lying in front of you and you write the color of every cloth, so the color which appears the most is your mode. Obviously, the basic application of measures of central tendency is only on your ratio data, because if you will apply mode on any other scale data, nominal, ordinal or interval in your Excel, it will not be able to calculate. It will be only calculated on your ratio scale. Demerits we have already discussed. So next comes is your median. So median means any value which divides a particular data sets into two equal parts. So when we want to calculate mean, the first of all the observations are to be arranged in ascending order or descending order, and the value which lies in the middle is your median value, right? And median is also called as 50th percentile. It's a middle value, and it divides the series into two equal parts because it is a middle value. But the only noticeable thing is that first of all the observations have to be arranged in ascending or descending order. Merits, it is easy to calculate. The value exists in the data, not affected by extreme values. It can be also calculated for open and class intervals, and it could be located by inspection also in many cases. It ignores many a times extreme values because extreme values will lie on the ascending or descending end. It is not based on all the items because it is only seeing the middle value. It is affected by sampling fluctuations in many cases, that if two different samples are drawn at different points of time, the median value may differ. It cannot be treated further, and it requires arrangement of data into ascending and descending order. Next, we will learn how to calculate mean, median, mode on your Excel. Now here you can see this Excel sheet. So here we have entered the marks and the roll number of students. So just randomly I entered this data. You can just scroll it down. Now if I want to calculate the average. So now if I talk about roll number, which scale is this? Number 1. Is it a nominal scale, ordinal scale, ratio scale or interval scale? It's a nominal scale because roll numbers are assigned to identify the students. So you cannot calculate average of roll numbers. It makes no sense to calculate average of roll numbers. Now against that roll numbers you are given the marks which are being scored by every single student. Now for these 20 values you can calculate the mean, median and mode and geometric mean and harmonic mean. So what do? I just go to this cell. So I'll show in front of you. Just type is equal to sign and type average. So here it comes and you click average and then you need to select the marks. So whose average you need to consider. So we have selected 20 observations. Now press enter and you get the average. Now next comes how to calculate median in Excel. So I am just reversing the formula. You press is equal to, you type median and here the function comes. So you click and now it is asking you to select the observations. So here I select and I press enter. So I get the median value. Then I get the mode. So mode again, what do? I press is equal to, I do type mode and I select and then so I select mode and then here is the marks selection 20 and I press enter. So I get 67 as the most repeated value. Next comes your geometric mean. So what do? I type is equal to and I type geo mean and then again it is asking me to select the observations and I press enter. Similarly for harmonic mean. So you can easily see that how simple it is to calculate all these averages, and one thing you should notice is that this mean, median, mode could be applied only on the ratio scale data. Ratio scale data have all the advantages